Am I gonna skip my gym workout to go and see a girl?
Shit, isn't it?
What's your advice to them? Day one, first step.
What are we doing tonight? Sleeping 6 a.m.
Tick off the thing slowly, innit?
I was getting too much on. I knew it was too much. I just had to do it.
Felt a bit lonely, no?
Yeah, I don't need qualifications to do it. And then they go here. But why aren't you going here?
What should be on their plate? Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Main focus, that's the main focus. It's like a playground for me. It's all like a video game.
If you want to fix your life today or have access to my free self-improvement guide, all links will be down below. Nah, cool. I hope everyone's looking after themselves today. So we're back with another episode. Today's one very special. I think we're gonna have a lot of value here. This man, he's been on a journey, man. I'm telling you, it's nice to see him grow as a person, especially with his fitness. Mr. PT over here. We got Fahim. Cameron, you?
You alright?
What are you saying? You right? Yeah. Alright, cool, man. So, you know, we're gonna have a lot of intellectual discussions today, especially with gym fitness advice. I know you know a lot more than me, but we love fitness, innit? I'm obsessed with working out, as I've said. I love that feeling afterwards. I love getting that pump. I love just seeing me progress in it, physically and mentally. Obviously, you can touch a bit on that in a minute. My first question to you before we go, that is, I haven't seen you for a long time, man. Tell me, primary school to now, I'll put it like this, how I remember you. You were... cool, I was going to say, but yeah, you were fat, I was a twig, we were opposites. We both come a long way. Talk to me about that. Anything you want to say? How do you think you were in primary school as a person? Maybe a bit shy, timid. I mean, this is 10, 12 years ago, guys, man. This is a long time.
How long was it? That was like 10.
It's been time.
Yeah, it was 2007, like end of 2007.
Yeah, so you came 2007. Yeah. We left secondary school like 2010, I think.
Primary school.
So what's that? That's been like 14 years since I remember. I remember this guy just coming in year 4. Talk to me about that. How do you think you were as a person?
I mean, as a person, like obviously,
completely
I just
different.
moved to London, so I just came to a new school. So yeah, I think I was a bit shy, but
things were new for you, innit? Naturally,
But I felt like people in a class, like they were more like, it was more easier to get onto them, like more friendly.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, than where I was before. And it was easy to like make friends, I think.
I remember, I think, okay, from my memory, up north, right? You're from up north or something like that.
Yeah, Leicester,
I remember. How do I remember these? Fam, you're a person I remember with my heart. I remember, and most people say people up north are more like, I don't know, more friendly. So that's kind of weird. From my experience, and I just remember you being quite shy, timid, but I look at myself. What do you think? What do you remember about me? Cause
I remember you were friendly, like you weren't.
I was always that person that involved
person. I could definitely come up to you, talk to you.
Yeah,
I remember you were friendly. But
it's not like any of that time defined us as a person. You see, I mean, this is like the amount of growth we've done is crazy. So obviously, yes, we went different secondary schools after that. I don't think we really kept in contact, did we?
No.
Because a lot of people went to my school. You went to
a
school close by. Cool. Now some time goes by, I'm seeing man in some martial arts thing. I'm seeing man I saw you in the gym, innit? That's when I started to see you. I remember like 2 years ago. I started going gym local. So I seen this guy, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I was like, okay, I like what I'm seeing, that a guy in the gym focusing on himself, cool. I'm seeing a few more things and I'm putting the pieces together. Man's drenched in sweat, man's active everywhere. So much exercise, so many new things, innit? Tell me some of the things you're doing, because I still don't even know now. So gym.
I got into Taekwondo.
Okay, I did not know that,
And then around about that time, I also started getting into the gym. So basically just doing like martial arts and...
Yeah. So when was this, like 2 years ago, more?
This
must have been time.
Taekwondo I started like end of 2013. So
really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then I stopped it like mid 2017.
Yeah.
But then I carried on. Obviously, I just left the place. I did something else. So I was doing kickboxing after that. Then I got into MMA. Yeah.
So the camera's on my face right now. MMA, kickboxing,
Yeah.
taekwondo.
So taekwondo, kickboxing, and then into MMA.
Are you gonna tell me jiu-jitsu now as well?
Yeah, probably jiu-jitsu.
Alright, cool. And gym as well.
Yeah.
That's 5. Anything else?
No, that's
Alright, cool. So listen, ladies, man, you're safe. Wow. Like, okay, cool. Talk to me. What got you into all these things? You know, you just naturally always like exercise because you're fat before. Cool. Was it like I don't know? Well, do you feel like people's comments said something you wanted better for yourself? You know, you didn't like how you looked.
Literally that, yeah. Literally
Really?
that, like,
Yeah.
Like obviously, like what you said. I mean, I had that background interest, but eventually it kind of faded a little bit. I didn't really care because naturally I just lost a little bit of weight when I was growing up.
Yeah. Like,
so that was
the
like
baby
year 8,
fat. Yeah.
But I was still interested in it, just not as much. But then in year 9, like, you know, every boy in year 9, year 10, they want to get hench and all of that. That was obviously me as well. But because of my past experience with being fat and stuff, that kind of fueled it a little bit more.
I see.
And with me, like, I'm a person that always like wants to like go like to a next extent, like research more and more. Like if I get interested in something, I'll like really dig down the rabbit hole.
I'm resonating so much with that. Like, I commend you for that because honestly, like, to use like a negative, not a negative experience, but like to not be happy where you are and say like I want better for myself and to put the time in. Because listen, guys, I'm telling you, like, I don't have a PT, but if I'm getting a PT, I'm going to this guy. Things I've seen articles, but you know when I started seeing you reading these articles, the science behind working out, I'm like, this guy's serious now. Like, that's a whole nother level. People just go, you know, they go gym. We'll talk about it in a bit. Go gym, Oh, look at me, I'm so weird. A few years go by, not really any difference. Like, you're really understanding like how the body works and everything like that. That's something I respect so much, and that's why I was like, this guy's serious about it. If we go back quickly, you know, did you feel insecure that you're fat? Like, what was it? Was it comments from people?
Yeah.
Exactly
all of that.
What, like continuous comments, like fat shaming? Technically.
Yeah. Literally that.
How'd that make you feel?
Well, it's shit, isn't it? So yeah, it's shit. But it was shit because I was young, so you can't really like take it well when you're young. If someone calls me fat now, obviously I don't care. I'll laugh it off.
Yeah.
Anything like that, I'll laugh it off. But back when you're young, like you can't. You're too young to.
Very similar to myself, innit? You know, I was telling you before, like you were on the fat side, I was on the skinny side. We were like opposites, but I experienced the same thing. Not obviously, in terms of like what people said, you know, kind of, especially when you're young, you kind of take it personally. Obviously now we can both sit here in a position we both look good, like semi-decent. Well, you're probably much better than me, but like we laugh it off, innit? Because we don't take offense. Even that with me, like if I look at myself, like I thought, I don't know, I wanted more for myself, innit? Not in terms of like to look good and everything like that, but I was like, you know, why am I skinny, bruv? Like, you see what I mean? And as I said to you, like, I started to try and eat more, you know, train properly, and you know, that I just feel like that working out feeling is addicted, isn't it? What do you think about that?
For
like
sure,
that feeling after is like second to none for me. I love it, innit? I'm so present. I feel I can breathe. I can like, I don't know. It sets me up for my day. That's why I work out really. What about yourself?
Yeah, I definitely get that feeling. Everyone does, but for me, it's like I don't really chase the feeling as much. So when you do it for so many years, it's not really about the feeling. It's about, for me, it's about the goals. Like that's what I'm interested in. And it's like when I walk at the gym, I contributed towards my goals. It's not it's about the feeling. But obviously the feeling is more is a good thing. But
this is clicking so much in my head because for me it's like, it's the fact that, you know, say you do like nothing the whole day. If you've done a workout, you feel productive, innit? You feel like you're contributing to your future self. Like your future self's gonna thank you for you're going towards that ideal body that you want, in it, and you, fam. That's why I say, listen, girls, if you see anyone that works on their body, like boys, girls, anyone, like you have to applaud it because it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
they don't have to do that, but they're going.
It's literally like, it's the best form of self-love, innit? You can do, because there's no cheat codes to it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Steroids, like, that will come back and bite you in the end. Like, you have to put in the hard work, the hours. That's it. Like, there's no more to it. And as you said, I think especially me, I'm at that feeling where I wake up, I'm like, oh cool, I'm just gonna work out now. Like, it's not like a big thing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When you do it so much, I'm like, oh, I just have to work out now.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I just get it done. Cool. Some days are a bit harder. Some days I breeze it.
Yeah.
Try and do as much as I can. I've done my workout. Like, what's next?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, like, they go gym and they shout about it, start posting. What do you think about that? They're trying to prove something, innit?
Yeah, literally. I'll be honest. Yeah, when I see that, it's like, you think the gym, you're making out like it's a big thing. Like, If you really there for the results,
you would.
Then you'd be going there all the time, and if you're going there all the time, then it's not a big thing for you.
Definitely.
So it's like when people post it, it's like, obviously they post it, be proud of it, and it's cool if it motivates.
They're trying to prove a point, innit? As I said, everyone, insecurities are loud, confidence is silent. It's true, man. Us two, we're not posting anything hardly ever. We don't need to, innit? Because we know what we're doing, man. Alright, cool. So Fahim, continue with your personal story. You know?
Yeah, so as I was saying, it was in like year 9 when I started getting interested in it. So obviously I'd researched like a lot about it, and then as you research a lot about it, you get more interested in it. Yeah. And that's what happened basically. So from like year 9 to year 12, that's when I was, or year 11, that's when I was all about bodybuilding or getting a good physique.
That's early age as well. Like I told you before off camera, innit? Like year 9, I started doing some form of exercise. So you said year 9, year 10. That's the ages, but I don't think anyone was like as serious about. I'll just try and go, look at me, I'm in the gym trying to take a snap or whatever. Yeah. Unserious, innit? Yeah. You obviously were very serious about it. Yeah. And the motivation came from what? Cause you
from that from being like fat and not liking it, but like I said, that kind of fueled how generally boys just they want to get into the gym. Yeah. So that it was like a combination of that. But then also I started getting interested in how to do things in the gym. And it's like a combination of all of that together. Yeah.
So tell me more about that then. What did you find out and everything, just from there?
So like I started looking into more like bodybuilding seriously, and I think I even like convinced myself, I want to be a bodybuilder when I'm
yeah.
But then, because I was around that time, I also started doing taekwondo, and I wanted to leave that just so I could have more time to do bodybuilding. But my parents didn't allow me. They said, no, you already started with that, keep with that.
Are you training a lot at the moment as well?
Yeah, not recently, like the past month I haven't, because something's happened with MMA.
Okay.
But yeah, before I was definitely training a lot for both of those things, and yeah.
And when you say a lot, how often are we talking?
Back in 2019, it was like almost every day, 6 days a week at least.
Was it evening sessions? Cause it's like I was trying to put it like, I know you do it a lot, but I was thinking, how much is this guy there? Like,
no, it was too much. Like, it was getting too much, and I knew it was too much, but I just had to do it.
Addicted, didn't it?
It was even like 2 times a day training.
2 times a day?
Yeah, no, that's normal for athletes, but for me, balancing with uni, it wasn't good, but I don't do that anymore now.
Oh, I can see.
Good. So which is good. You need to find a balance.
Yeah. Everything in moderation. I completely agree. Like, do you think you're prioritizing it too much? Like, you say it was addicting, but what was the underlying reason?
It's all about the goals, like the intrinsic goals.
You're just so focused on getting there as quick as you can.
It's literally all about intrinsic goals. Like, I've got goals for myself, and that's what I want to achieve, and I have to.
Give me an example of one of your goals. I'm intrigued, innit?
So like, I wanna be competitive in MMA. I want to train for MMA, and I just want to like know about it and be good at it, and maybe coach one day in the future. I don't know.
Fam, we're gonna watch this in 5 years' time. I'm telling you, you're gonna see Fahim do the most MMA. I'm telling you, I believe in you, man. With discipline like that, motivation, it's just that inner fire inside of you. If you continue, that's it. It's game over. You're gonna do it. You know that, man, and that would be lovely to see, man. To see like. I was one of the first people to talk about this, and to see where you ended up, that would be amazing, man. Talk to me more about, we're gonna kind of touch upon like diet and fitness in terms of like the correct form and everything. How important is that to you? What mistakes or have you seen like a lot of people do in the gym?
I can talk about mistakes. So there's like general principles for, basically I'm pretty sure everyone wants to like be in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
They want to build muscle,
Yeah.
lose fat. So if we focus on building muscle, and people lifting weights, some of the mistakes I see is they don't lift close to failure. So basically there's this concept with weight training, is that if you want to build muscle, you need to be within at least 5 reps or 4 reps to failure. So that point where you can't lift the weight anymore, that's failure, and you need to be within 4 reps of that. But people, they won't do that. Like, they'll lift the weight and they've still got more than that, which means the weight wasn't heavy enough, and therefore they're not building as much muscle as they could be.
Like they kind of have a sweat. It was kind of difficult, but they still could. It's like, you know, that concept as well.
Yeah.
That's something that resonates with me a lot, especially over the like last 1.5 years, because I realised it as well, innit? Like I can do it, cool, and I'm like, okay, I feel alright. I could probably do a bit more, but that extra push is what you're trying to say, is like kind of what gets you the proper gains. Like when your muscles physically can't like.
Yeah, I think it's people like I think it's just two things. They need to push themselves, and also I don't think they know that they need to push themselves. Like I think it's just a combination of those two. Like if they know that they need to be within 4 reps to failure, then they can have that in their mind, and if they have the willingness to push and sweat, then
it's more of a mindset thing.
Yeah, more of a mindset and
mind
knowing.
over body, like understand
mindset and knowing what to do.
Cause I think a lot of people just go gym and they think they're doing it, but I don't think they're as, I think the word's efficiency. I don't think they're as efficient or as effective with the time they have. Yeah. You agree with that, innit?
Yeah, 100%. Like you're going all the way to the gym, you're paying for the gym, make it as efficient as you can. Like
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think as you said, a lot of people, I don't know, I think there should be more emphasis on like the knowledge behind it, and the actual like, not just physically doing, like the mental understanding that you know, this is what's best for you. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah. I think like investing helps. So like investing in a good coach or trainer.
I agree.
I think just investing like people, they're a bit scared to invest. They want to do everything themselves, but you save time by investing.
Yeah.
Even I invest. Like sometimes I've had a coach myself.
Really?
And even the best coaches have coaches themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all about, because it all comes down to the principle of investing.
That's so true.
It's like if you invest, you're taking like a shortcut to getting the results and learning more.
Just you're on the right path with that guidance of someone who's been there, done that. Exactly. Especially people, you know, there's a lot of people that bullshit and act like they know what they're doing. They don't.
Well, that's another thing. Unfortunately, you can invest, but you might invest in the wrong person. It's like also take the time to find the right person.
Do your research and try and find a reliable guy here. Get him. But I completely agree. I think you know, I think that the knowledge is really important.
Going back to the mistakes people make in the gym.
Yeah.
So if we go back to that, the concept of training to failure, the reason why you need to be within at least like 5 or 4 reps to failure, you know how you got different types of muscle fibers. Like, I don't know if you've heard of it, slow twitch, fast twitch.
No, I haven't heard of that.
No? So basically, slow twitch muscle fibers, you know, like marathon runners, they're kind of like slim. Yeah. They've probably got a lot of slow twitch fibers, or at least their muscle consists mainly of slow twitch. Yeah. And obviously, on the other hand, you got sprinters. They got fast twitch muscle fibers. Okay. Yeah. And it's like in a category. There's like type 1 muscle fibers, which is the slow twitch. Then you get onto the more fast side, which is type 2A, type 2B. That's even faster, and type 2X, which is like the most fast, powerful twitch muscle. But basically, you want to work your fast twitch muscle fibers when you're lifting weights. So take someone that wants to get bigger and build muscle. They need to target their fast twitch muscle fibers. Also, they'll also be targeting the slow twitch, but it's mainly the fast twitch as well. And the reason why is because that has the biggest potential to grow. So like the fast, like, that's science, why. Man. Yeah. So if you put that into perspective, you see this marathon runners, they're slim. That's because they got a lot of slow twitch. That's why.
I've not heard this before. You know, but you see, so interesting. Yeah.
You see sprinters. They're much more bigger. Yeah. That's because they got mainly fast twitch. Yeah. So that's what I mean by saying you need to target the fast twitch, because they have the bigger potential to grow. So now, if we go back to the gym, when you're lifting, let's say I'm doing bicycles, and let's say I'm doing 10 reps with the bicycles. So the first 5 reps, if I lift a weight, that will be targeting the slow twitch. And then when you get past that 5th rep or 6th rep, or maybe 7th rep, depends on the weight and exercise.
So when it starts getting difficult.
Then it starts getting difficult, and that's because your slow twitch fibers are fatiguing. So now your fast twitch fibers have to take over.
Okay.
And so now they're being worked during those last few reps. And like we said, we need to work those fibers because they have the bigger potential to grow. So that's why you need to be within a few reps.
So it like switches it on and like kind of activates it in a way where where because you're working the fast switch now, they can grow more in it. So that's how you can put on more muscle.
Yeah, exactly. Your brain is like saying our slow twitch fibers are fatigued. We need to switch on the fast twitch fibers, and that happens during the last few reps, like 4 reps.
Okay.
So it's the 6th rep, 7th rep when I really start to grind, and the 10th rep when I can't do it anymore. That's when I'm working the fast twitch fibers, and those are the reps that really count.
Okay. So when you say really count, that's like how you put on. That's the difference between someone who just goes to the gym and does whatever, and someone that gets proper results.
Yeah, who just has like 5 reps in the tank, but they stop there. And that's what a lot of people. That's what I see a lot of people do. Whether you lift 4 or 3 or 2 depends on the situation and where you are in terms of training. Like lifting 1 rep to failure or going to failure is more fatiguing than lifting 4 reps to failure, obviously. So you want to be mindful of that. You don't want to do that all the time because you'll get fatigued, and then you need to be going to the gym all the time, obviously. But if you're constantly fatigued, then you're gonna burn out soon. So you need to start maybe within 4 reps to failure. As the weeks go on, maybe go 3 reps to failure, 2 reps to failure, then 1 rep to failure, and then maybe take a break from the gym, just lift some light weights, and then go again. So that's one thing.
If you want to fix your life today or have access to my free self-improvement guide, all links will be down below. My question to you now is, someone comes to you, says, Fahim, I want to start to taking gym seriously, like day one, beginner, everything. You know, it might be some people watching this. What's your advice to them? Day one, first steps. What would you say to them?
What are your goals? How many days a week can you train? What experience do you have? What exercises do you like? What don't you like? What injuries do you have? And then from there you can create a plan that will serve them for their goal.
What quick tips would you give to them in terms of like maybe like form or something, or even diet, any nutrition advice?
Form. A lot of people, so this is another mistake. They don't do the full range of motion of their exercises.
Okay, tell me more.
So like, let's say someone's doing bicep curls. Someone might start here where their arm is flexed, and then they go here. But why aren't you going here?
Yeah, I've seen that a lot as well.
Now
Extend.
The thing is, there's a lot of research that's starting to show that when you stretch a muscle under load, there's actually more growth compared to if you started from a not stretched position.
Okay, yeah.
So like, if you take the leg extension, for example, I think there was a research that showed this, or let's say the leg curl. I mean, so it's working your hamstrings.
Yeah.
So there was a study that's showing the difference between lying leg curl and then a seated leg curl.
Okay.
So seated as in you're pulling your legs down, the weight is underneath your legs. And the research showed that the seated one was a little bit better than the lying one. The reason why is because you could get a better stretch with your hamstrings from that seated exercise.
Because you hear that a lot. Everyone's like fully extend their muscle.
No half reps, that's what they say. And that's the reason why. Because you want to get that stretch in your muscles, start from a lengthened position, and then lift.
So in terms of key tips, so extend fully. Every exercise.
So like pull-ups, go all the way down. Don't just start here. All the way down.
And when you're down, like dangle as well. Hold it like that. Cool. Anything else in terms of that for beginners, and then we can maybe talk about diet advice.
Yeah, that's it. So that and training close to failure, within 4 reps to failure, and then working your muscle, each muscle at least 2 times a week. Depends if you're a beginner, maybe 3 times a week. At least 2 times a week, and then seeing how you feel like in terms of soreness and your fatigue. If you're not really that sore, then you can increase the sets and do more. But if you're feeling too sore, maybe you want to take down the sets, especially if you're not making progress in terms of getting stronger.
So what would you say about the overworking idea? People say take rest days and stuff like that. Would you advise that possibly?
Oh, yeah,
or is it just kind of judge on each person to themselves? You know, how they are. What would you say about that?
100%. Like, your muscles, they're building, and it's usually like 24 to 72 hours.
Okay.
Which is like 1 to 3 days. So you could work your muscle the next day, but that depends on which muscle it is. Like the calves, they recover quite quickly, so you could maybe train them the next day. But other stuff like a big muscle like legs, like 2 or 3 days, and then go again. Same thing maybe with the chest or whatever. But with your shoulders, stuff like smaller muscles, maybe you can work it the next day.
So it's like recovery based in.
But yeah. So you need recovery for sure.
Yeah, if we just touch on that, people say sleep's quite important and nutrition.
Oh, sleep.
Advice on that?
Sleep. I mean, I can give advice on sleep. I can talk about.
Tell me everything.
I mean, that's another area that I'm interested in. If it wasn't for sports science, I'll study sleep. Like, I'm interested in sleep. So having a dark room, that helps. So like me, I have a curtain. I have a stick-on curtain on the window. You can have an eye mask. You can have earplugs.
Or just to take yourself out and get that deep sleep in it.
Yeah.
REM sleep, I think.
Yeah. REM sleep, that's the important one. And having the fan on. So these are the things that I do. I go like overboard with my sleep.
Why would you say sleep's so important? Especially
Because
for recovery.
I've heard of research that shows when a group of people were losing weight, they lost less fat and more muscle when they got less sleep compared to a group of people that were sleeping more, and they lost more fat and retained more muscle.
Okay.
And I think that's to do with like, you know, the hormones that are released when you're sleeping, the recovery aspect. I'm not a sleep expert.
But you're interested in it, yeah.
But yeah, sleep is very important. At least get 7, depends on the person. I personally do good on 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah.
7 to 9, I think some people say.
Yeah.
Depends. Obviously, sleep's like the process, like, it's like where your mind repairs in it, and you kind of like reset, and it's quite important for the body in terms of recovery.
Yeah.
Nutrition, protein, obviously everyone says.
Okay. Yeah. So protein is the most probably the most important thing. So you want to get at least, I think it's 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight.
Okay.
So I like to just go with a number of 2. So like that range is because some people are different. Like some people might have some issues where they can't digest it, or maybe they're vegan. And the protein quality.
So just kind of like find an amount that's good for you, isn't it?
Yeah, and also like women, the more if you're old women compared to like a young man, the protein needs differ. So like the elderly woman would need, like a grandma, they would need like more protein compared to a young man. But people think it's the opposite. The young man needs more protein. Yeah. People think it's the opposite. No, the young man actually needs less protein.
Knowledge is power, man. You hear this? Cool. Tell me more.
Because they're more like anabolic. They got all the hormones and they're more likely to build muscle. But the elderly woman, she needs to be, I think, more mindful of like aging, kind of things like sarcopenia, which is when you lose muscle. So yeah, so that range is that's the reason why there's a range. But generally, I like to go for 2 grams per kilogram. Okay. And in terms of protein, also you want to spread it out, because each time you take in a certain amount of protein, so it's like, you know, protein, how there's amino acids. Yeah. So there's a certain amino acid called leucine, and that's one of the more important amino acids that you have to take. Yeah. And when you hit a certain threshold of that, it stimulates the muscle growth that you need. So usually you'll get that certain amount of amino acids from about 20 to 30 grams of protein. So if someone takes like 5 grams of protein, they're saying, I'm building muscle. Well, did you get that amount of amino acids, or you get that
so that's what it comes down to then. Yeah.
If you're not, then maybe you're not really building muscle. Maybe it's contributing in some sort of way. But you need to take in a full meal of like 20 to 30 grams of protein.
So high amino acids. What would you advise in that? Because if I think of protein, eggs, chicken.
Yeah, go towards more like animal sources like dairy. Plant sources can be okay, but you need to make up for it by having more protein, and that's where that range comes in, 1.6 to 2.2. Yeah. But yeah, that and just spreading it out with 20 to 30 grams per meal. That's what you want to do.
Okay, so what about like vegetables and fruit and stuff like that? Is that important? I know people say have a balanced diet and everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, protein's always going to be the main focus.
That's the main
so
focus.
So after you work out, you know, people have protein shakes. Is that good? Protein shakes, some form of protein. It has to go in your system before and after, no?
Before or after, yeah. To be honest, I don't know much about it, but there's definitely some kind of myth where people need to run to the protein shake and down that. That's not true.
Okay.
There's people call that anabolic window. That I think there's research that's been shown that's not true.
Because every time we know in the locker room, you see I'll do it as well after. Because I'll just have my shake like there and then. Obviously for whether I don't have shakes now, anyways. I try and eat good, but. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So tell me more. So you don't have to have it immediately.
No. You don't have to do that. People think you need to. Within 20 minutes, I need to go and get a protein shake.
Legging it.
That's not true. They call that the anabolic window. But that's not true. If you've had protein before you worked out, like you ate just before, like maybe a few hours before, and then you worked out, that's fine. Like you can just chill out, go home, eat whenever you want to. But some people they think they need to down it quickly. That's not true. You don't need to worry about that anyway before or after. Just focus on getting spacing out your protein evenly. So depending on, so let's say I take 120 grams of protein. 120 divided by 3 is 40. So I have 40 each meal. If you want to eat 4 times a day, then 30 grams per meal. And when you do that, it will cover if you need protein or not. You don't need to worry about if you need protein or not when you're working out. That spacing out will cover that. Yeah.
So put it like this: someone comes to you, Fahim, what should I have? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just tell me or tell the people naturally like what a template looks like for your meal. Obviously, the size is fair enough. Eat until you're hungry, cool. But what should be on their plate? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just. Or what you have from your experience. Obviously, we can mix and match a lot of things.
Well, the essential thing is the protein. So having.
So breakfast, we could say like eggs.
So let's say someone's taking 120 grams of protein, split into 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner. They need to have 40 grams within each meal.
Okay.
So that can come from whatever they want, whether it's eggs or protein powder. Personally, I have protein powder in the morning. Like have it with cereal. But depends on the person, obviously. But generally, you want to get some carbohydrates, and it would help if you get some vegetable or fruit. But you don't need to like. So
morning, let's just say for you, so like cornflakes or cereal.
Okay, so let's say what I have: cereal, protein powder, and banana. So that's
all that for breakfast. You're that hungry, working.
No, you should see what I eat.
That's a good breakfast already. It's more than I have. But tell me lunch now. What would you say?
So same thing. Like you can follow the same template, whereas a vegetable, fruit, carbohydrate, and a protein. So. Like we said, we need that 40 grams of protein. Then carbohydrate, whatever you want really. It would like depend on the situation. Let's say you finish the workout, you need to replenish your glycogen, depending on how hard you worked out. So let's say if that's the case, then you can get some more fast absorbing carbohydrates. So then you can have more sugary kind of stuff like cereal or whatever kind of, even like junk food that has high sugars in. Especially if you get someone that wants to train twice a day, they need to replenish their glycogen for another workout. But if that's not the case, then you can just have, potatoes, rice, whatever the person wants.
So it's like, what about like chicken sandwich or something like that for lunch?
That's cool.
Anything in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Little meal deal with something healthy, an apple on the side or something.
Anything, as long as it's got the amount of protein that you need. So we're aiming for 40 grams.
Okay, so that's like the key. That's like the key thing in it. 40 grams for everything, as we said, in it.
Depend on that example. If someone's taking 160 grams, because if that's what they calculated, then it's different.
Cool. Dinner, big boy food. What would you normally have? I see sometimes you either have fish or chicken, or I'm seeing like green beans or something. It looks very healthy and it looks good.
I have like whatever. It's literally the same principle. Just same thing. Protein again. Have whatever you want, but have something that will make you full so that you're not hungry when you go to sleep, because you could be hungry and when you go to sleep it might interfere with your sleep in terms of I can't sleep, I'm too hungry.
That's true.
But you don't want to be on the other side of the coin where you're too full and you can't sleep either because you're just lying there like, oh, too full.
What's your advice on snacks?
Snacks?
Good, bad, moderation, I guess. Again, I'm assuming it.
Literally depends on the person. Like, there's nothing wrong with snacking. Like, it's not illegal. But
I know some of you lot think it is, and some cheat days, everyone goes mad, bro.
It just depends on the person's goals and what they're trying to achieve. If someone's trying to lose weight and they're snacking because they just want to fill that hunger,
mm-hmm.
and they're not achieving their goals of how much food they need to take in. If they're going overboard because they're snacking, obviously that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Remember, you have to remember, you don't have to do this. Like, you can just eat how you want.
It's down to you,
not go to not exercise. You're choosing to do this because you want to achieve your goals or you want to be healthy or whatever. Stick to those goals, and it needs to be like, it's not obviously you want to impress people or whatever, or if it's external goals, yeah, that's fine, everyone's got that, but it has to be intrinsic goals as well.
Completely agree.
And if you don't, you need to remind yourself what is the intrinsic goal. And everyone that's consistent, it's not because they are they're doing it because they want to look good or whatever. They've got some sort of intrinsic goal. Like maybe someone wants to be the winner bodybuilding show or whatever.
Something more deep rooted inside of them that's really rooted. Like, I want this, and nothing will come in the way. And even like me in this podcast, like I'll set out something. I don't care how long it takes. Like I want to do this in this inner fire in me, and I think that's where we resonate so much because we both have that mindset for a lot of things we're doing in our lives and a lot of things we want. It has to be. People have to understand it's more than what you see. This is like a lifestyle, innit? Yeah. Do you understand? I think that's amazing though.
Yeah. Like, you have to have the intrinsic goal. Like, and when I say intrinsic goal, it's like if you're on this planet by yourself, would you still be doing it? I still would be doing it because I've got the time.
What a lovely statement. That's why you came on, man. Fam, say that again. That's true.
If you're on this planet by yourself, would you still be doing it? I still would be doing it because I have certain intrinsic goals that I want to achieve. It's like I'm a nerd. I'm like a geek for it. Like, I want to like experiment. Or okay, I'm lifting low reps. What's this gonna do? It's like an experiment. It's like a whole game for me. Like,
you know, like,
it's like a whole video game.
Me as well. Because if you think about it, take everyone out of the equation. It's just you and your own.
Yeah.
I would still be working out as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would.
Yeah.
And you think like, most people working out to like impress others. I don't know. It comes kind of from a thing of insecurity, trying to impress other people. What other people gonna say.
Yeah.
There's something more in you that's deeper than that. And the thing is that everyone's dead now. Just me and you. I'll still see you doing jiu-jitsu and martial arts here, bro. Like, do you understand? I know you would, but I'm the same as well. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. So if you need to ask yourself, if you're the only person here, would you still do what you're trying to do? If not, then you need to think of what's your intrinsic goal.
So maybe you're doing it for the wrong reason. How important do you think it is to have a plan when it comes to working out or fitness? Like, people just I think they see it like such a big thing in it.
Yeah.
I feel like they see it as very difficult. They don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Anything in life, I would say split into mini goals.
Yeah.
You know, tick off the things slowly, innit? This is the process, the lifestyle. This is a journey.
Yeah.
What would you advise? You know, especially when people with day ones, just kind of like creating a big plan, cool, but then working towards the mini goals slowly, right?
Yeah.
You know, kind of tracking, break it down into what you're gonna do today, and then look at it as a week, a month, something like that, right?
I think the best thing is to invest in someone, a coach that will do all these things for you, because it might be overwhelming to create a plan and execute, stay accountable.
They don't know where to start, innit?
Yeah, and that's why even the best coaches have coaches, because it's just like they don't have to make the plan, even though they know how to and they can do it. They can save time by not doing it. They can have a different coach, keep them accountable, measure the progress for them, do everything for them, and they just have the person just has to execute
it. Yeah, be consistent.
And so that's when I'll just recommend having a coach or investing in some sort of way.
And it's people like, it's a cash loss, but it's an investment in yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're really serious about doing it,
Exactly.
you have to kind of like lose now to gain in the future.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is. It's an investment.
Exactly.
I would say, yeah, definitely a lot of people should get into that more.
Yeah.
Especially with people that know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the thing, innit?
Yeah.
Finding someone that knows what they're talking about. Cool, so sound a bit different now. It's been a really good discussion. I just want to, understand your experience at uni. Obviously, I can speak for myself. How was uni experience for you? Incorporated, you obviously training at the time as well.
Yeah.
You kind of highlighted, you didn't think uni was worth it, no?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, whatever you like, as much as little.
I think in terms of uni being worth it, like, it depends on what the person wants to be, like what they're interested in, how they are in terms of if they study, if they're good at studying, and yeah, if it's worth it for
Does
them.
it like fit them or resonate with them? Because I know a lot of people just go uni for the sake of it.
Literally,
Or parents said, let's just follow others. Even on my course, I remember like everyone dropping out.
Yeah.
Like for me, I loved it. I did account of finance.
Yeah.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Something always was there with me, and it came second hand for me.
Yeah.
And it's something I always know I want to do. After the first lecture, I was like, yeah, this is interesting to me. This is something I can work towards, become better in.
Yeah.
A lot of people just go choose anything, business management, cool, let's go here.
Yeah.
They kind of go for the lifestyle, no?
Yeah,
What do you think about that? It's not really correct, is it? In the long term, obviously.
In the long term, for sure. Like you're obviously paying a lot of money, a lot of money
it's pretty
to go there, and it's not just about the loan and the paying for the year. It's like traveling there, paying for accommodation. Like all of that stuff adds up.
Yeah.
Is it all worth it for you? I don't know. Like for me,
it's more society's view on things. As you said for yourself, what in hindsight you probably wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, like I gained some stuff from it, but I don't know if I needed to go there. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, especially for what I want to do, I don't need qualifications to do it.
Invested your time into other things.
Yeah.
A bit more.
For sure.
Obviously, you said what you want to do. What do you want to do going forward?
So like
goals, aims. Tell me.
So like, let's say I want to be a personal trainer. You don't need a degree for that. But I mean, it could help. It could look good, but you don't need it.
It's not like a requirement or anything.
Yeah.
'Cause I always thought like, I think you can just become a personal trainer like by yourself. And do whatever.
Yeah. So there's that, but also you can, with the growth of technology and social media, you can now do stuff online, so you can get online personal training, and that's what I'm getting into, and that's my long-term goal. And it can be like online can be like for anything, like personal training. What I spoke before, something called strength and conditioning, which is basically personal training but for athletes, for the sport. And even like psychology. I think there's people that like do online I don't know like what exactly, but that
so how exactly does that work? Like, do you offer like a course, or
it's just like you contact them, they have like their own page, and you'll see that, then you'll go towards them, and then you'll do a consultation. I don't have my own page, but I'm trying to grow it, and
link in description. Yeah.
And people would come to me and
inquire about your services and stuff.
Yeah, and then I'll coach them for like a month, or like whatever we agree on, like 3 months or whatever, and I'll train them, create a plan together. We'd call to discuss how the plan's going. We look at maybe changing some lifestyle factors.
Wow, that's good, man. Like first hand, you're influencing someone's life. Like,
yeah,
I think that's so beautiful. Even like with this podcast, if I can give back to the community in some way, shape or form, like that's something that makes me so happy. Like that feeling, obviously, you're seeing your client progress. It must be mad, innit?
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to get into.
How's it gone so far? You're getting a lot of.
Well, I've only just started.
Recently started.
Yeah. So
slowly, man.
Building it, but. Yeah, going back to with uni, you don't need that. Like a lot of people online, they don't have qualifications.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's qualifications, there's courses you can do that help you do this online coaching, and that would probably be better spending your time and money on that rather than getting a degree. Like if you have actual plans where you need the degree to go into, then it can be worth it. But apart from that, I don't know if we can say it's worth it.
So how about like the moving out experience for you?
Yeah.
Like, that was your first time. Obviously, I stayed at home, so I still haven't moved out. I'm cushy here, man, with my sofas and everything. What about you? How was it for you?
Yeah, it was okay. It was what I expected. It's just living with your flatmates, dirty kitchens.
I've seen some dirty kitchens.
Seen the rots everywhere. Like
it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Animals, man. Yeah.
Personally, for me, it's not for me because, like I said, I'm just into training. Like I wanna carry my goals and train, and I'm not really there to party. Obviously.
Oh yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, it can be fun, but that's not what I'm there for. I'm about training, and that's what I want to do. I want to sleep good. I want to train. I know it sounds like a...
I know what you mean. People say, old man thing, but you're disciplined. You're so focused on that, and that's something over time, like, especially as we get older, you have to respect that so much. You need people like that in your lives, because it's all in moderation, isn't it? How, you're telling me you're going to be serious about gym, and you're going to be going to sleep at like 5 a.m, drinking alcohol. Obviously, you wouldn't do that, but you see what I mean? Those sort of things, that crowd, it won't force a growth mindset.
Yeah. Obviously, it can be fun here and there, but that's not what I'm about. But everyone there, that's what they're about. It's just what we're doing tonight. Sleeping 6 a.m. Like their whole pattern is sleeping 6 a.m. They're living there for going to the lectures, but they're not going to the lectures because they're waking up at X, Y, and Z time. They're sleeping at 6 a.m.
It's living in the moment, which is good and everything, but I don't know. I feel like, especially with us two, we're so focused on our future. And just becoming better, that we understand sacrifice, and we understand that, like, yes, it'll be alright to even go out socially or something cool, but how often are we talking? Are we gonna skip our gym? Am I gonna skip my gym workout to go and see a girl? Of course not. But other people running that door have opportunity to that. I'll never do such a thing, especially at this age. So it's just, they didn't resonate with you in terms of like where you were going in it. It must have been quite difficult. You felt a bit lonely, no? You're doing your own thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Takes a strong person as well, you know. You could have easily conformed. Joined them. You've seen a lot of people, they have values, they go to uni now. Next thing they're doing things they never thought of. A lot of respect there, strong minded. I love people like that, innit? Tell me more about that. Was it difficult?
So it can be lonely because of that. Because everyone wants to just do what they're doing.
Do something else that you're not,
So just depends on the person. Like for me, not really worth it. But obviously it's an experience. I had fun in here and there. But
kind of like how much do you want it in it? How badly do you want your goals and ambitions? Just to wrap this whole thing up, like what extent would you go to? And not as like a serial killer extent or whatever, but like...
My extent is the example before. If no one on this planet was here, I'd still be doing what I'm doing. Like training in the gym, like it's like a playground for me. It's all like a video game for me. Like I'm just fascinated by the training and how it has an effect on the body. Like I think it's I get interested by how there's so much different types of equipment in the gym, and there's different ways of training, and there's different mechanisms in the body that you can train, and it can have this effect in terms of sport or in terms of how you look. And whether people are on this planet or not, I'm gonna explore that. I think it's just fun.
Listen, guys, if you have a mindset like this, or even myself, when you're so fixated on where you're going and you really understand yourself, because you weren't always like this, but you took a lot of time to see what goes with you, how you are as a person, and when you develop that strong, firm foundation, where you're like, this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna get, like this is it. Example, everyone's gone in this world. You're still here. You're still doing your own thing. That's beautiful to me, and I feel like a mindset like that, there's no way you can't succeed or get what you want. You have to understand that, like, you can go through the most difficult things. You can maybe not even train for 6 months, but you're gonna be back. Do you understand? You have to understand that there's only one way of going with a mindset like that, and that's up. Alright, cool. So I really enjoyed myself. Thank you, man, for coming through, man. Shad, a lot of wisdom. Hope that helps a lot of you lot getting into training. Obviously, try and be as consistent as you can. Just understand your mindset and where you're gonna go. Come up with that plan. Everything will fall into place. My motivation for today: do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. got that from Hamza. He's a great Asian YouTuber about self-motivation, bettering yourself. So big up to him. He's inspiring a lot of people. But it's true, when you're not feeling like it, the days that are difficult, you're struggling, those are the days that count, when you actually can get through that workout or do something that you didn't think you could do. That's what defines you as a person and your future endeavours. Nice words, did it? Fahim, talk to me. Final message, motivation, shout out your fingers, of course.
First of all, thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Anytime, man. Sometime soon
good
again.
Vibes Only podcast.
That's what we're
I've been
about.
watching
Man.
your podcast and it's been good. So
thank you, man. That means so much, man. Anyone can come on anytime, but yeah, Fahim came through, real one.
If you're into the gym or training, fitness or whatever, follow my Instagram. It's Fahim, FAHEEM, and then .pt. Yeah. And yeah, thank you.
Anything else with your other links as well? I'll put everything you give me in the description. That's the only thing. Like, follow Mr. PT over here. He knows what he's on about. I promise you, man. You're great. Get in touch with him. We'll sort something soon. Yeah, cool, man. I thank you for everything, man. Take care, man. If you want to fix your life today or have access to my free self-improvement guide, all links will be down below. Come on, give me a fist bump. Honestly, I'm telling you, like if I get a PT, I'm gonna go with you, definitely.